2 years ago, I've decided to move to my Sun IC line to Cyprus, and surprisingly, this is what happened. Hello guys, I'm Rolf Thürmes, aka the Pragmatic Astrologer, and on this YouTube channel I'm going to show you a pragmatic approach to get results with astrology. Moving away from a place, where you have lived for many years often is very challenging, and a lot of times it requires, us to feel there that it's unbearable to live there anymore before we are really ready to move to another place, right? And this was the case for me. When I decided to move to Cyprus, the main reason for me was I wanted to have an easier life and I wanted to have a better quality of life. I felt that the crusty structures of Germany, especially of Berlin, were holding me back, and also the weather. For me, having a warm and sunny weather is very, very important for my mood. So those were key factors why I wanted to go away. Another big challenge that I was facing was the overall attitude of many people in Berlin, especially when it came towards money or living a good life. When it came to manners, that was also a very important point to me. There is one word in Germany that they call Berliner Schnauze, and it's a euphemism for being rude and having bad manners, and for me, this is a no-go. Now, please bear in mind that this is not everyone, it's not the majority, but it's still something that's also pretty common there, and I had a problem with that. Please rest assured that every country has very negative sides, right? And I think they're almost all equally negative to some degree. So the question is, which negative sides can you deal with and which become unbearably challenging? And for me, something that was also very important was having a peaceful home. Because in Germany, in Berlin, somehow in every place that I've lived at, it was always loud. And when I wanted to open the window, especially, in summer, to sleep with an open window, it was almost impossible to sleep because it was so loud. So that was something, this was more related to me. I was unlucky with that, but that was also one of my main priorities why I wanted to move to my Sun IC line, because I thought that this could really improve that. In the end of 2021, I went to Cyprus once again after I've been there in summer before, and I really knew that this was the time I was gonna get an apartment. So I checked all different apartments, and there was one that was perfect for me. It was a 2-bedroom apartment with a huge terrace, really huge. And that was a really nice start for the beginning. And my friend Myra from the AstroCartoGraphy group, who is also a YouTuber for astrology, I gave her a free reading. And then we became such good friends that she visited me with her boyfriend over the end of the year, and it was phenomenal. And then in the beginning of 2022, I went to a meeting with many expats, but also with locals from here. And I saw how easy it was for me to make friends and friendships, that really feel like family already, right? That feel like family. And that was really surprising to me. I already felt really good in Cyprus, but that was, wow, it was not expected to be like that. In the beginning, I was comfortably lazy and very happy, but that changed really quickly. The first thing that happened was I was feeling very, very uncomfortable, because at some point I was not feeling that I had any purpose in my life and that I was providing any value, right? I think that typically most humans really feel the need, in the long term to provide something of value or to do something. And otherwise, if we don't feel that we are doing anything useful or anything significant in life, I think that that's something that could make us really depressed. And that was definitely the case for me. I already in an earlier video showed that several signs, astrological signs, were already pushing me towards becoming an astrologer, and I was just not going to accept it because, it was still too much. I was too rigid to accept that the universe had a plan for me, and I just didn't want to do it. But at some point, after, I don't know, the third or fourth sign, I was like, okay, let's do this. And I went on the AstroCartoGraphy group and I did a Q&A, and within 2 days, I had 35 people contact me for readings and 25 booked me right away. And then I was like, I think I should have done this way earlier. The astrology business started really taking off from the beginning, and it continued. It was steady. It was people really coming in every morning. I was waking up with 10 new messages, I'm not kidding, of people asking me for readings. And I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. But then again, the Facebook group that I've already been nurturing for then 2 years was, or 3 years, was already, they already knew me. So it was very easy, to get clients, to get people, to book me, because they already knew what I offered them. The business took off. I was really happy about it because finally I had something, to give me a purpose, to give me a life, and to really enjoy it. So that was amazing. However, I still had other challenges again, because first of all, I had challenges with the home. There were electricity problems or other things, which I mentioned in an earlier video, so you might want to watch that as well. The challenges started to become a lot bigger because next to my place there was a construction place, there was a gravel road, and a lot of dust was, in the air every day because trucks were running over that road 200 times at least every day, right? So all of that dust was coming into my apartment, was coming to me, and it really started to become a lot less fun to live there. These challenges, from my opinion, were not because of the sun line, not because I was living on my sun-eye sea line now, but there was another aspect that was happening over there right at that moment, and I saw that, I knew about it, and I'm going to tell you about this in the next video. The sun-eye sea line does not just represent the home or, having a nice home. It represents retirement. It also represents family and family life. And all these things, were already very appealing to me because I also have in my own natal chart in the sun in the 4th house, right? So for me, being in a cozy, comfortable home is especially important. So that's definitely something that I had to look for. I gave myself an ultimatum. I said, I'm gonna finish until the end of the rental contract, which was gonna be at least 4 or 5 months more to stay there and then leave to the new place. And thank God, the girl that I was with back then in the situationship, where I also talked about, on the messed up Mars line story, which you can find here, where, she really pushed me to go to the place earlier, to find a place earlier. And I'm actually really, really thankful for that, because thanks to her, I found an amazing place at the beach, small 2-bedroom apartment, but close to the beach. And the best thing about the new place now is that I have amazing neighbors. I love them so much, right? One of them is 77, it's a couple, both of them, his name is Yorgos, her name is Maro, and I love them very much. They are great. Every morning, my neighbor, gives me a Cypriot coffee. They're so generous to me, and the place is absolutely phenomenal. It's full of cats. I love cats, right? I play with them. I'm also very close to the cat clinic, where I started working every Sunday. So I was doing volunteering work with the cats. And well, while it sounds like I'm such a good person, I was also doing that for myself because, let's be honest, kittens are just phenomenally awesome and I love to hang around with them. Now, what I haven't mentioned yet is that the new place where I live at right now is also very quiet. It's very peaceful. Thank God. It's next to the beach, but it's also so peaceful and quiet, and that's exactly what I needed, because I didn't have good sleep for so many years, and now finally I can rest, I can sleep, and it's amazing. My life is so much better just because I have better sleep. Please bear in mind that when you go to a better place, where you are a lot luckier, still the challenges or the baggage that you bring from the other place that you came from doesn't go away. However, what really happened to me is that these challenges became a lot more bearable. What I've also realized is that astrocartography and locational astrology is more of a seasonal business. So what I had to do was find another thing to do as well, to have something significant or something meaningful to do in the times where I didn't get so many readings. I wanted to find something to do in the end of last year, and I've started an app with a developer and a team, and today we have an app that encourages people to go to saunas and to spas and to travel all over Germany just for that. So to wrap things up, coming here, moving to Cyprus, to my sun-eye sea line, was the best decision of my life. But please rest assured that not everybody will have this experience, because it depends on what condition the sun has in your chart. So you have to look a bit more than just at astrocartography lines to really see, if a place is good for you. And then, even if astrology says it's going to be a great place, I always encourage my clients to go to the place for 2 or 3 weeks at least and discover the place. Discover the place, ask yourself how the place feels. For me, it was love at first sight, and this love hasn't finished. So I'm gonna stay here. I love this place and I'm very lucky, and I highly encourage people to do the same, travel around and see if you can find a better place, especially if you are not happy with the place where you live at right now. Risk it, and I think it's gonna be a huge gain for you too. Thank you very much. Now, before we finish, next video, I have something cool coming up, because I look at aspects that most licensed astrocartographers don't look at, and those are especially transit and progression astrocartography lines. And I'm gonna show you how they have affected me so much more than anyone would probably expect. Thank you very much, and leave a comment, leave a reaction, let me know if this is helpful, and if you find it cool, I'm always happy if you share it with your friends, and let them also give me a feedback so I know if I'm doing a good job and if you're really benefiting from this. Thank you.